What's going on, guys? You got Kwasi here for Kwasi Animation Studio and Kwasi Media Network. You are presently at Kwasi Animation Studio, where we're about to do this series. Well, not really a series. We're going to do this video. I'm using Human Generator version 4 beta to create this character, and the project is called Moon Base Defend. So basically, it's Moon Base Defender. So he's going to be defending against these creatures, even though I'm only going to have one in there. We're going to do the terrain, get as close to like this sort of like moon look as we possibly can. Really, I don't know if I want to look dead on like what we've seen in images that have already been created for the moon, but I want to do something similar to that, give it this like feel. And we're going to bring in some assets. We also have some clothing for him. This guy here is named Russell. Let's get to work. Okay, so I've already generated some images so I can have an idea, and so therefore thus I went and downloaded those things I needed to use in this project. So I have to go to my download folder for one, and in the download folder I have these things that I need to move to the particular folder to do this project. So let's go ahead and move those things. And I already know that I'm going to put these things, I'm not going to put these things in the usual folder. Well, matter of fact, I will. I'm going to go ahead and do that because I don't want to mess up anything. So I know this right here is the clothing for the character. So I'm going to go ahead, pull that. Let's move it to where it would go. So I already know it'll be in am I in the general assets? Okay, yeah. So this will be for a clothing asset, so I'll move that over there. This is a character. I'm going to take that character and bring it into the folder for this particular project. Put it in Internet Challenges, Moon Base Defend, character models. So I'll drop it in there and then we'll close that. All right, so I'm going to go and pull those things in a little bit, but right now we're going to get him straight. So we just have a default character here. I've already given him a height. I want to go into skin and I want to go ahead and get the subsurface turned on, and I'm going to change this to 1.6 because people aren't that shiny. Let's go 1.7. All right, now we're going to save. It's already been saved. Let's roll on. So again, I'm using version 4 beta. It has not been released. It has had some bugs or whatnot, but I haven't really been having those issues. Not sure if I already said that or not, but either way it goes, we're going to go ahead and get to work. All right. All right. I'm good with that. I think I do need to do his eyes. Yeah, I'll do his eyes. I don't like this. All right. Let's get this going. All right. And then in this case, I'm probably not going to give him any sort of like distinguished hair, even though I will change his eyebrows. So let's just change his eyebrows. I'll go with that one. No, see what the next one is. Yeah, that one. There we go. All right, so we have the age is set to 30. We'll make him 45, and we'll see that it'll instantly start to change the way his skin looks across his body. All right, so now we're going to go to body, and I'm going to give it a bit of muscle. So we're going to 0.75, and then on the overweight, I'm going to go negative 0.25. Okay, so the reason why I did that is I know right here on the torso, it allows me to change the belly size. And I'm going to push that in a little bit by going to negative hold shift, pull back. Okay, so here we got muscles, which allow me to change his bicep size, his tricep size, his traps, and then a whole other slew of things. So it's a little bit more versatile and letting you select or deal with those things. Okay. All right, that's not too bad. Like I said, I didn't want him too chewed up. All right, we're gonna go to head, and I'm gonna bring the length of his neck down because that's just really too long in so many ways. I mean, some people's necks are long, but I don't think it should be that long. That's about right. Let's make it a little thicker. All right, there we go. Yeah. All right. So down there, go to face, and I'm gonna go random for a second because I kind of feel like I can play with some of the random look. I like that one. So on this one, I'm going to change the nose. I feel like it's too extreme. I'm going to go zeros on everything. All right. And then on the width of the nostril, tip of the size, the length, we keep that angle up. Nostril flare up, turn up. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Ears, I think the ears, let's just see. All right, cool. Eyes, I'm going to leave the eyes. That's really what it got my attention. His brow, push it out a little bit. Go back to eyes. I want to lift the pad of his eyes. So, oh, it's already up. I want to bring it down. I mean to say, okay, cool. Don't forget to save. All right, we're gonna deal with the mouth. I think the Cupid bow is too big. I'm gonna change the offset, keep it somewhere towards the middle. Location, width, height. We're gonna thin it out a little bit. All right, so now we're gonna go to his cheeks, and I'm gonna take the fullness out. I don't want the fullness there, at least not that much. Pull that in some. Pull that in some. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He just looked like he's a little tired, a little grizzled. I might give him a little facial hair when I think about it. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go to the face, and I'm gonna select other because it's gonna give me stubble and stuff. So I'll give him this one, and then it'll allow us to change the length, right? So I'm gonna come down here to length, and I'm gonna find like what I want it to be. I'll make it all, well, I'll bring these two up some and bring the salt and pepper up because, you know, the 40s, you've been getting it in a little bit. We'll bring it up some too. Don't forget to save. Okay, so even on the eyebrows, I'll come up a little bit on it. I don't want it to be, no, I'll keep it black. All right, so this is the facial hair. Again, the soul patch, we'll push it out, push it back a little bit more. The side, we'll push it back a little bit more. Mustache, a little bit out a little bit more. All right, cool, there we go. So I think that's a pretty good look for him. We'll push back on that. I'm thinking that's pretty much it. I don't really need to do anything else, I don't think. Let's see, maybe mess with his jaw some. The width of it, let's bring it a little bit wider. There we go. All right, and then on the chin, I think I'm gonna bring the width in some more and push the dimple all the way up. There we go. So we got our grizzled defender of the moon base. All right. Okay, so in this case, we know we have clothing. I have clothing that I want to put on him. So I have to go to that folder. That's not what I want. So, and I know I put it in my assets. So now I need to go to, I'm just going here to make sure of where it's at. So I know that these two folders are here. What I'm going to do is switch the names. I'm going to create a folder for this and call it Spacesuit. Well, Tri-Fire. All right, and then I want to move these two files to that folder. So I'm gonna push this over some so I can see the actual thing. All right, there we go. I'll come in here, and now I have the FBX, but I also have a RAR file for the textures. I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. All right, and then I'm gonna just copy that. So when I go up here, I'm gonna go clothing. Cool. All right, so of course, just create a new collection. I'm gonna name it clothing, FBX import, copy paste, or paste rather. Turn all that off because I don't want nothing to be tripping. All right, so we're gonna give it a second. It's probably gonna come in either purple or shaded. We'll find out here shortly. Let's see what we get. It's micro size. You see it down there? I'm gonna go backward. I'm gonna go back into the solid mode, and I'm gonna bump its size up. FBX. Click it. It's 93 megs. I'm gonna bump it up to 60 on the scale, and import. So it's separate pieces, which is fine because it's kind of cool for me because it allows me to be able to place them where I want them to be placed on this character. Though what I'm thinking is on the model is taking the model and making it assume a T pose. Even though this is in somewhat of a pose, I'm gonna make all the pieces go straight to the center part. All right, so let's do this. I'll slide it over some. I know I need to get it roughly about its height. I don't know why I moved it, but let's get it roughly about its height. Boom. All right, cool. So now I want to go ahead and scale it. All right, so we got that in there. He's not completely dead onto the front, so let me select everything in that again. I'm gonna move him back to the center. Gonna go above, and I'll move him pretty much to the center. All right, and then we'll do all transforms again, and then slide it over. All right, So don't forget to save. Now, clearly this model has been designed to be a certain way. Now, I know you might say, well, why wouldn't you just use the thing itself? I'm like, because I want this stuff to go on him. That's why. All right, so clearly these shoes are comically huge. All right, just look at this. Now this is the undersuit, so I'm thinking I'll isolate it. I don't know if I need the suit or not, because I'm really feeling like what I might do is just grab his shader, okay, and then come in, like grab him, and on his neck, like down, change the shader color of it and make it dark. This is what I'm thinking about doing. I may or may not do that, but nonetheless, right now I'm thinking about doing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn these other things on real quick because I want to change his eyes. Okay, so one of the things I noticed on these models is that the eyes, specular on the eyes, and even the glossiness is very high. So I bring it down to like 0.1 because our eyes don't shine that bright or as much as it seems, and that works out pretty well. All right. Okay, again, that's on the outer eye fast, not the inner eye part. All right, so like I said, these pieces are comically huge. So let's say if I bring this over here, would I really be putting this on his person? Probably not, okay? So say if we go, so even if I did use this as like a suit, right? I would just get rid of the hands, you know what I'm saying? But that's just gigantic. All right, so even like you have the shoulder parts here, right? And that's just comically huge. You feel me? So let's say if I grab it, push it to the front. Let's make it a little smaller. Right, go into 4, grab these. Let's say X. So do the same thing on both of them. 2. Right. All right. Boom. Yeah, so feel me? Like instantly we have something going on here. So another thing is I know I need this part, which again is comically huge, but we can fix that. So let's bring it in some, I'll push it up. And it's pretty much close. It's close. I don't think it's dead on, but it's close. And I was tempted, and I might still do that. Let's do that. Let's undo all of it. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is what I'm gonna do. All right, I'm gonna create a second collection. And this is gonna be, all right, so we say Russell clothing, and then for this one, I'll be like import clothing. All right, matter of fact, let's change the name of that, import clothing. All right, and then, because I want this, I'm just going to duplicate it and then push it over because I want to maintain what this looks like so I can see exactly what I'm doing. All right, so now I know I can make this smaller and push it up because I wanted to pretty much match what he has going on. So I see that it's pretty much up in the remnants of his chest. Push it down some. There we go. So it's pretty close, but not dead on. But we'll make adjustments. So here we go, making the adjustments. So I'm gonna go all transforms. I'm going to move this to Russell's clothing, and then I'm going to rename it to chest plate. Russell. Right. Hit F2. Copy paste. Going to move it over and rename it there also. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into, what's this called? Sculpt mode. And I'm going to hit G, and I'm just going to slowly with the grab tool pull it out some. Just a little bit, because I still want it to sort of be on the body where it is. I don't really want to do a lot of adjustment, because I still want those parts to be the way that they're designed here. Because you see clearly here it's how much it just goes in because he's so overly bent in the back. But I don't want that like that for this. So we'll pull it out. Hold on, let me squeeze this in some because I don't want it influencing the front so much. Oh, and the side part. Let's get down in there. All right, I can bring this over some. So again, I find myself doing this often for clothing pieces, is just sculpting it to shape. Again, I'm not really tripping if it looks the way it looks. Like if it dang it. F7. All right. I'm not tripping if it looks different from the original because I'm not trying to make it look exactly like the original anyway. All right. All right. There we go. And see, my thing is most people are afraid to just push and pull, push and pull. Like get in there and don't be afraid to push and pull. Let's come back to this again. Right here, I won't pull this out because this should be above it. Let me get some more. All right, there we go. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so now we have the chest piece there. So like I said, I may leave some of this exposed, I may not. It just depends. I haven't decided yet. All right, so now we want the shoulders. Again, we're gonna Shift D. I'm gonna bring it over here, and then I'm gonna move it to Russell's clothing. I'm gonna rename it. It's gonna be shoulder plates. Russell. F2, copy and paste it. All right. So I know these, like I said, are comically freaking large. So I'm thinking I could do this, but I may have to bring them to their origin. So let's bring it to the origin point and do it something like that. All right, okay. There we go. Now we'll go all transforms. All right, so well, it's close. It's not dead on. Bring it back to the origins, back to the, yeah, there we go. Because these arms are gonna go down. And what I'm thinking is for these shoulder plates, I'm not going to bind them the same way I'm going to bind the chest part because I don't want it to bend and fold. So I'm going to bind it with a with an empty. All right. Next part, legs. So Shift D, move it over, change it. Leg armor. Russell. All right. Okay, so again, same thing. I'm gonna bring the origin point to the center so we can move it down some. And I know that this may need to come up some because of where it is here or down. So I'm thinking up a little or down. Let's see. Should it be down? Matter of fact, I got an idea. Watch this. All right, so go into 4 and grab this one. I'm gonna delete it, grab this one, and I'll mirror it. All right, and then come back into here, and then I'll make adjustments to this one by itself. So come over here, and there we go. Because what I'm thinking is it may need to make, I might need to make a certain level of adjustment, but there we go. All right, not too bad, not too bad. All right. I know I may need to do a few slight adjustments on all right, cool. So let me do that. Yeah, a few slight adjustments, but not a lot. Like what's piercing through the leg, that's fine. I'm cool with that. Okay. Yep. All right. So, oh, it's got let me yeah. So this way you get rid of the modifier. Just convert to mesh and yeah. All right. Okay. So knee pads. I guess I can do those too. Boom. Thinking. All right. I don't know why it was hard for me to, but yeah. Because I don't want these things to be named the same thing, which a lot of times it just makes it more complicated for no reason. All right. Verts. Grab that. I'm gonna mirror. Yep. See if we can get in here. Not too bad. Are we close? Am I close? There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. And of course, do that. There we go. All right. Cool. Yeah. Not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. Bring it back in. Not too bad. That's what we got. All right. My shadows. Okay. All right. Yeah. Not too bad. Okay. So we're gonna keep going. See what we get. Okay. Which part am I missing? Because I think, what is that? Is this a piece? Ooh, that's a back piece. I like that. All right. I didn't know there was a back piece. Well, I mean, I saw it, but I didn't think about it like that. So that goes on top of the other piece. That is kind of cool. All right. We'll fix that. All right. Move it to his thing and go from there. All right. I'm gonna take it to the origin and go behind it. Yeah, I don't want to do it like that. All right, so all right, because it definitely goes something like that, right? You look at it over here. Yeah, it goes on the back of the neck some. So ooh, that is just cool to me. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of cool. Like the way it's built. It's still too big though, so let's make it a little smaller. No, it's not too big. I'm just gonna have to do some work on it, because that's supposed to go over top of that, right? Yep. All right, so yeah, let's do some work on it. So let me make sure I scale it. I'm gonna take it all the way down to, no, I'll leave it there. All right, and then go into sculpt mode and go from there. All right, so ooh, turn it off. All right, because this is supposed to go on top of that. Yeah. Let me slide this back some. Is this stretching it? It is. Let me undo that. I can deal with that. And bring this down. Yeah, let's go. All right. Yeah. Okay, so this part needs to come up. I'll expand this a little bit more. It grabs more terrain, gets more purchase. All right. Trying to be easy about it because I don't want to get rid of the hard surface look to the point where it just go, ooh, that's just bad. All right. And I mean, on some level, I'm messing it up, but yeah. Because this should be out to here, right? At least. Dang it, it's just like it keeps going down instead of up and out. There we go. Alrighty then, so we got that on there. Go back to the regular mode. I want to still see the shader view. Okay. Yeah, not too bad. All right, so that's the back piece. So I know I moved it, right? Yeah. So I guess back armor. Slow down, slow down. Okay. All right, and then yep. All right, so duplicate those, bring them over, move their location, rename them to Boots Russell. All right. So I'm going to, like I did on the other ones, get rid of one of them. I don't need the whole thing. And then grab this mirror. Oh, I said mask. I don't want a mask. I want a mirror. All right. And then we're just gonna reduce this comic level of largeness and bring it forward or backward. Which one is it? Forward. All right. Usually I go above and then I just sort of figure it out from there, because I know that sometimes it's just, man, is there a thing on his legs for that? So these are up to almost his knee. All right, let's see what I got. Yep, that works. Let's see what I got. All right. Boom, boom. Dum, 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 dum. Convert to mesh. All right. So that's not too bad. So what I'm almost thinking about doing is giving him the flight suit, to be honest. So went to the wrong thing. All right. So in this case, I'm like, if I give him the flight suit, because his clothing undergarments are like black. All right. I still haven't given him the braces, but I want to see something. So if I give him the flight suit, let's go to clothing, extra, because there's a flight suit in here. Let me see what it looks like. So yeah, if I give him the flight suit, some of this I would have to like change, like squish down, because I don't want it to be in the way. So say take it up here. I guess you don't want me to take it up here. All right. So if I come in here, I'll just make this black, right? So like 0.001. And then I don't want the shine on it, but I think going to 1 is shinier. Yeah, so let's take it to 2 and bring this down to 0.1. All right. So in this case, even the yellow parts, I don't want that bright. Like I don't want it. Okay, so just want it black, and then of course we got that up to the neck. But now that means that this thing is extended past that point. So what I'm thinking is, because if I click the character, you can see all of this has been cut out. So the only thing I need to go over here and do is just toggle those, go to mask, because I haven't done the feet yet, but I'm still gonna go ahead and put that mask in there, and it just turn the foot mask on. This way now we already have the foot turned out, and I can go in here and give this another mask, create a shape, and then just go mask underscore no hem, and then turn this on, grab this bottom part, and then we're gonna go up, Control plus, I think one like that, and then assign, and come over to come over here, go to mask. Always hit this and reverse it, because if you don't, it's going to turn off the entire thing. All right, and then when we come out, this should be up to that point. All right, so you're gonna say, well, I go higher. Like, no, because I'm going to do some sculpting on that. So yeah, and even on the arm, I'll do a certain amount of sculpting, and up here I'm doing some sculpting, because I want this underneath that. I don't want to really come up here and play with this and put it over the top of it. I think where it was is already good, but then I might go ahead and move the armor anyway. So I think I might just move the armor. All right, so I'm going to grab these arms, duplicate, put it over here. I'm gonna do the same thing we've been doing. I'm gonna turn off one. All right, delete those verts, grab this one, right, give it a mirror, and then I'm gonna come back in here because I really want to play with it like this. All right, I'm gonna come above, I'm gonna scale it down, I'm gonna bring it to his wrist. Let's get close, cuz. All right, so let's see what we get. I'm just gonna keep messing with it till I got it where I want it. And I may even mess around and turn off, oh, it doesn't have a local, what about normal? Ah, there we go. All right, so yeah, thinking about getting, doing a mask on that part too, so that it's not in the way. Yeah. But I know I'm gonna do a little sculpting on it, because yeah, you can clearly see that it's not gonna be as straight as I want it to be. Yep, gonna do some sculpting on it. But nonetheless, I can leave it like this, because I know for a fact it's the same on the other side. Not as bad, but let me see something real quick. Hold on. There we go. All right, I'll convert it to a mesh. I guess I didn't do that. Oh snap! I got to actually select something. All right, there we go. Okay, so I don't know if I want to do it like that. Let me add a new mask, which will be a sleeve. Just mask, no sleeve, and then come in here, grab this one. Oh man, I messed it up. So anyway, did I go this else? Okay, and I go so far up, and then I'll just assign it, come out, because I want to see what it looks like when I add the mask, flip it around, no sleeve. That's cool. All right, because yeah, I want this to dictate that. No. Alright, and so I still need to sculpt it, but I'm going to go ahead and scale it. And I'm going to go to sculpt mode, G, spread it wide. Alright. And I'm going to do these individually. I don't want to do them like it was being done. I don't want to do it separately. Because, yeah. Because again, this is really just going to be an image. This is being done for an illustration. Check the time because I haven't. I hope that music wasn't too loud for y'all because I know some of you are probably like, that music was so loud. I hope it wasn't because I just turned it down. I just realized how loud it was. At least for me, it was loud. It might just be louder for me than it will be for you. But nonetheless, let's go. All right. So we come out of that. We got the braces on. Let's go back into shaded mode. All right. Yeah. Cool. It's working out halfway decent. I think for the face part, the mask or the helmet, I'll use that, but I'm not really sure how it's going to work out. But we're going to see. I am about to fix this because I don't like it. I'm trying to get my pen. All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull it out some. It's fine. Because these pieces are thick, so I feel like since they're thick, it works out. And then the part over the shoulders, same thing. Oh, that's I'm tripping. Let me change that. All right. You say, what did you just do there? Control Q allows you to change objects. All right. So in this case, I'm gonna do this one, but I think I might have to go over here. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna bring this down some in that space because yeah, it's just in the way. All right. Looking good, boy. All right. Okay, so I like that. All right, cool. So now what I'm gonna do is, we didn't sculpt that part. That's a good bit. I didn't sculpt this part. All right, let me fix it. Because I don't want it, yeah, like doing what it's doing. All right, cool. It's ever so slight. It don't have to be extreme, but it has to be enough not to go through the thing, you know? Because we want the armor to be showing. Oh, Lord, what happened there? I wasn't trying to do all that. Don't forget to say. All right. Yep. There we go. All right, and then the part for the pants, part of the foot still showing. That is so weird to me. Okay. All right, I'll make this a little smaller because I want to grab some of this and just get it to these edges because I don't think it'd be that thick at the top. Well, I mean, it probably would be. We're going comical, of course. All right, like I said, this thing was comically huge. And let's push this in. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah, you're looking pretty decent there. Did I change these? I did not move these, did I? I did not. So now we have to go armor plates underscore Russell. All right. I still think this is too shiny. So I'm gonna make this like 0.3. All right, there we go. Yep. All right. So I guess I'll play with the helmet. So let's make a duplicate, move it over, change places for it, and I'm gonna call it helmet underscore Russell. Yep. Honestly, ain't too bad. Just look like ain't too bad. Why was that in normal? I thought I was still in global. Okay. I don't know. I feel like it's not too bad. I don't know if this will select the whole helmet. Okay. I don't know if those are a separate thing. I will see here shortly. But nonetheless, that it's there. I don't really have to do anything. I think that's not a bad size for it. His entire face is in it, and I got to do it. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's cool. All right. So it may not look as badass as this guy because he does look pretty badass. But what I'm gonna do with him is I'm just gonna turn it off because I'm not gonna be using this scene to do the end result, right? So let me click his hand because I see part of his foot is still showing through. I'm gonna come over here, go to mask. I'm gonna pick foot. I'm gonna come out of that. Let's go over here, do this, select, and I'm gonna remove it. And then I'm gonna go up a little higher, and then I'm gonna go ahead and assign. So this way now it covers way more ground. And we'll go back into this. All right, so cool. So now that foot is covered. Now this is where we're gonna have our little playtime. So I'm gonna go hit the wrong button. Gonna come up here, and we're gonna go add. So we're gonna go add because version 4 has kind of been tripping. The footwear doesn't really work well. So I just go full body on the foot, and we wait, and it's done. All right. So now on the arm, I'm gonna do the same thing, but this time I'm gonna call it torso, and it automatically assigns it. So it's assigning it. Now you don't have to go in and do as you used to do where you had to select the bones and then switch it over. So you can directly just when you click it, I don't have to click the bones to say okay, make a parent. It automatically creates that relationship. So if I come up here and go relationship, it instantly made it a relation. So it made it an object of that. Okay. For his chest plate, I'm gonna do the same thing. Torso. Wait it out. On the back plate, I'm gonna do the same thing. Torso. And then for the helmet, I'm going to give it a constraint. So the same thing for these, I'm just going to lock them to an empty, and the helmet's going to be a constraint to the rig. Okay, but I'm not going to do that till after the rigging process. All right, so these haven't been done, so I'm going to go ahead and give these pants. Same thing for the knees, the knee pads. Okay. So all of that's done. Now, the only thing I'm doing, I'm gonna select these things that I've given, and put it into his file. Because the other two, I'm going to constrain. So the head is going to be constrained, but I'm going to do it after the rigging process. So it's not going to be a part of the rigging process. I'm going to hide it in everything so it doesn't transfer over along with these. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. And this stuff is going to be rigged in the rigging process. All right, so I want to bring in their shaders because they're not in here. So we're going to bring the shaders in. Clearly, they're not in here. Because that's not the textures. All right, so it's showing me some stuff, but I don't know if that's it or not. But nonetheless, I'm going to come up here, and I'm just going to go to where it is. So we already know that it's in here. I'm just going to right-click, and then boom. All right, so this is for the armor part, and for I think it's for A3. So we go to A3, boom, click all of this stuff for A3, and click, and we're set. All right, so I tend to do this instead of using the displacement, bringing a bump, bring the distance down to 0.002, and then bring the height into the height and delete the displacement. So the specular is way up there. I'm just go 0.2 on that. All right, there's no occlusion node, but I kind of like to fake it, so I'll bring in a mix node. Again, this is 3.4 I'm using, so it's going to be, so if you're using another version of Blender, it's changed in 3.4. And then what I'll do is down here to bring it and make it darker. All right, and there we go. There you have it. All right. Okay, so I feel like I'm just gonna leave it like it is. Okay, so now the chest part is there. Select all of this, Control IX, because there's a normal on it for some reason. And this is A1. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to A1, select everything for A1, and boom. All right. So I'll do the same thing I just did for that one. I'm gonna go to 0.2 because I don't want it that bright. I'm gonna bring in a bump. Boom. Right. 0.02, height to height, and done. All right. Now, so because I already did it here, it's already set. I'm just gonna copy it, and I'm gonna go back to that piece and paste. It didn't clip it. Click, click, copy, paste. All right, there we go. So it's already set. I don't have to do any changes. All right. So here we see this one says, I want to fix that because see that on the back? I don't like that. Right here in the back, it's wrong. Let's fix that. All right. Okay, cool. So fix that. All right. So on the back, it's showing. Sorry. We're doing A4. So A4. There's a reason why I didn't change the naming conventions because I wanted those things to be correct. What in the hell going on there? Is it because I moved it? It's probably, who knows? All right, 0.2. Or it could be the displacement. I don't know. All right, so let's fix that. Could be because I used it and shaped it. Could be. I don't know. Let me do this instead. Let me go auto shape. Smooth. No, didn't make a difference. Flat. No, don't know. It could be battle damage or something. I don't know. It just looked weird. All right, so already down there, so I can just do that now. Okay, so we're gonna come in here. This is A5. I'm glad it's named properly because it makes it so much easier to do this stuff. 0.2. Bump. All right. So we're gonna go get this done. All right. Let me go ahead and do this now since I'm right here. All right. A6 mean. Looking nice, looking nice. All right, B1 or it. All right. Okay, cool. So if I bring the helmet and shoulder pads back, we have the shoulder pads. I can go A2. I can go and shade them now because I might as well. So A2. All right. Same thing. Click boom. Get it out the way. All right. Then of course the helmet. All right. This was probably going to say H, I bet. H1, like I said, H1. What's the S? Did I miss something on here? I feel like I missed something. I might have. Who knows? Oh, snap. Okay. And then I'm going to give him, I'm probably going to make his visor glow. I mean, the eyes on the visor glow. And go from there. All right. Q, 0.2. It already look like you got a little something in there that wants to glow. Why does this look like? Is this the shading on it? I don't know. It looks like the geometry is weird. I'm still trying to figure out what the S part is. Am I missing something on him? Oh, that's the skin. That's the suit color. Got you. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so let's come back in and go to shading. Time, 46 minutes. We ain't doing too bad. And this is just me doing the layout. But now I feel like this is still too bright. It just feels weird to me. This is 0.1. All right. All right, cool. They're clipping through. Interesting. I don't really know if I should do that or not, though. If I should manipulate that. I feel like I broke something on the back piece, but I'll pull it out some. All right. I don't need to change on the shoulder because his arms are going to go down. See, the reason why I don't want to, I've thought about creating a secondary rig for that, but then I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So the thing I'm thinking of doing so that this moves accordingly is for each shoulder, right? Make it a separate part and then create an empty that goes to the shoulder that when it moves, it moves with it. So if we look at that right now, let's bring that in. So if I do this, and I go click, right? Come up here and I go empty. So I'll bring the empty in, I'll make it a little bit smaller. And just go left shoulder. I'll call it pad, that's fine. All right, and then this shoulder, I mean, this will be constrained to the armature, right? So let's just say it's constrained to the Russell armature, right? Okay, and then it goes to the shoulder. So let's just say the left shoulder, and then it's offset it, turn the scale off. So now if I come up to the rig and I turn it on, let me get it back in here, and I grab this shoulder, it should move that part. But you see how it's not moving with the shoulder? I mean, sorry, it'll move with the shoulder, but now that means I have to also make this click to that. So that means that this part needs to be a separate piece by itself. So if I separate it, now I can go over constrain it, turn the scale off, constrain it to the shoulder pad. So now if I move the arm, I mean the shoulder, the pad will move, that'll move with the shoulder itself. So when I move the arm and the shoulder moves with it, I don't have that problem. So, but what I thought about is what if I located this to the arm? So to go to the arm, we go left arm and this inverse, right? And then we go, here's the arm movement, and now we got that movement. But that also means that now it's not rocking with the shoulder correctly. So I'm like, what if now there's a number of pieces that are now working with each other. So let's say this was to the arm, right? But then there's one to the shoulder. So when the shoulder moves, this also moves the pad. So now when the shoulder, because you're going to get more arm movement than shoulder movement. And I mean, you'll get shoulder movement, but so which one would be preferable? The shoulder or the arm? Because if the arm moves and the armor doesn't move with the arm, Now we're in a jam. So I'm like, how do I do that constraint? So what I thought about was doing a double constraint where it's constrained also to the to him and also to the shoulder. So we come in and go shoulder and go like that. I have to still set inverse. So now when I click the arm, it moves with the arm, but it also moves with the shoulder. So I'm saying, so I get both constraints at the same time. Feel me? So I'm just like, this is stuff that I've been like thinking through, because it's not just a simple deal, if that makes sense. Okay. So clearly we can see, you see how now the armor is now resting differently because of the constraint that's on this. So if I turn this constraint off and this one off, you see how it turned? Feel me? So it's like, which one should be first? So I feel like this one should be first, but I don't think that made a difference. It didn't. So yeah. So now that means I would have to come over here to this one and do the same thing. Now, if I move this, its origin to its center, does that change anything? That was something else I thought about. I was like, okay, here we go with that. But then now we have this, right? But I don't want this turned. So what I was thinking is what if the inverse, oh, the rotation's off. Wow. Let's hit inverse. Okay. I think the same thing over here. So what if I turn Y rotation, not off, right? So what if would I be changing the rotation on that? See, I don't know. Because now the armor is resting where I don't want it resting. You get what I'm saying? So now it's like, what do I do? So what I thought about is rotating this. Let me put it on local. Rotating this the correct way, right? Because I see clearly that it's pushing it through the armor, and I don't want that. So it may have to come up some, is what I'm thinking. Huh, interesting. Let me bring it back to here. Let me grab these two things and let's push them up some. Hold on, that one ain't gonna, because it's constrained right now. All right, so if I click its constraint, let me turn this constraint off. All right. Now bring these up some more. And they just ever so slightly above, a little bit higher than usual. All right. And then scale it. All right, so I bring the constraint back to this one. I clear all that out and I give it this. So it's to the shoulder pad, which is the shoulder pad itself is now to that, but, right? It's not too bad, but it's rolling with it now. So if I go to the front, let's look at that. See, that's the thing I don't want. Yeah, that's the thing I don't want right there. Is it stretching? Huh, interesting. See, these are the things you gotta think about, because it's like, do I want that to do that? Because I really don't want to pair this. Let me turn the constraint off. Let me just turn those off, both of them. Okay, so see, yeah, I just don't want to do that. Join them back together again. I guess I will. You know what? I'll do it. Let's just see what happens. If I don't like it, I can always disconnect it and go from there. Because my mind on it is I don't want it to destroy. I mean, look jank, which is probably going to do. So I mean, I'm gonna have to see. See what I'm saying? Like, that's not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. So no, not gonna do that. So I'm definitely going to use the constraint method, but I think I'm just going to use one constraint, but I do need to make these move a different route. So what I'm thinking is I'll come over here and delete this one again, right? Bring this to its center, to its origin, and then just turn it so it's sitting on that, because the arm is way different than it was. And then rotate on the Z a little bit, and then I'll bring it up. There we go. So the armor is sitting in a better spot than it was at first. All right, cool. So now I'll bring back that bring that back. And then go empty, scale that empty, scale, and go shoulder pad. Why can I spell today? Control, hold on. All right, and then constrain that to the rig, and then to the arm. Because I feel like if it goes to the shoulder, I'm just setting myself up for failure on the shoulder. So unless I do both, which I'm thinking I may do, but I'm not really sure. So if I come up here, I think I can go armature and get away with that. Select the target, click this, and then go shoulder. So now it's way to the shoulder also. So now if I come to the shoulder and rotate the shoulder, interesting. Oh, I haven't paired this. Never mind. I'm tripping. Look, I said, interesting. All right, cool. So now I come over here. Is it floaty? I don't want it floaty. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want it floaty. Yeah, it's floaty. I don't want it floaty. So the only thing I can think is, and I know you're going, man, that armor is looking all crazy. We'll fix that. We'll fix that. That'll be fixed. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out how to get this constraint done properly. And I'm not sure if it needs to flip it around or not. Yeah, see, it's still floaty. I don't want it floaty. So the armature can go away, and then so if I pull this up, all right, yeah, because it's attached. There we go. Because the arm is attached to that, it goes with the arm, and okay, yeah, it'll work. That'll work. All right, now I need to just mirror this, which, yeah. Hold on, what? Did I delete it? Oh no, it's constraint. Never mind. I'm tripping. All right. Yeah, that works better. Even though I still feel like this needs to roll forward a little bit, so I think I'll do that. Boom. All right. So now the helmet, I'll do the same thing because I already know I'm gonna switch this over, and I'll go to constraint, not armature, because the armature doing the armature constraint tends to make it floaty, which sucks. All right. So I know I'm gonna have to change this, but nonetheless, boom, there we go. So now if I come over here and I grab, right now what I just did, I just realized my error here. So we're gonna go left. I'm gonna go control left. All right, and then I'm gonna duplicate that. I'm gonna call it control right because I need to do a right. And then what I'm going to do is turn this constraint off, and then bring it over to this shoulder because this shoulder is going. I have to separate it. So let's select it. And then I'll bring the right over to it. All right. And then of course, constrain it to the rig and go arm. Like I said, I feel like the arm would be a smarter choice because the arm is paired to the shoulder and then I'll have the problem. All right. So now, separate that, do this, come over here. And now I separate this to the right one. Boom. And set offset. Boom. All right, there we go. So now I have my constraints. This is going to go with the rig. When I push this and I move the rig, everything goes together. No issues. Oh, my bad. I did the wrong thing. Okay, so this is the next big piece. All right. So I'm going to name these plates. So I know I need to go like .L. And then this will be like, what did I do? I'm tripping, bro. All right. I hit the wrong button. And this will be .R. All right. And I'll do the same thing in here because I don't want to be looking for something and be like, which one is which? And then do it in here too. So .L. All right, cool. So there we go. All right, now, so we got this set up. Let's come back in here. Let's give him the rig. Did I select it? Yeah, I did. This is the other way. All right. So I'm going to give him his new rig. So that means it's going to break some stuff. I'm gonna give him a facial uh, uh, rig anyway, and this way now I don't have to deal with like nothing stupid. So I'm gonna turn it off real quick because I want to make sure it's working. All right, all right, cool. So it's working properly, and I'm just gonna grab his rig. We'll come back into this, solid mode, and I'm gonna turn this rig. I'm gonna give him a quick rig version 2. Okay, we're gonna keep the constraints. I'll leave it like it is, and hit in. I never click preserve volume because everything's already there, so I don't really have a reason for it to. If it shrinks, then I'll fix it. And we'll go from there. So just waiting on that to finish, and then we'll go to the next stage, which is giving him an animation and posing him. All right, so I already know that the constraints have been broken. Okay, tell you right now, the constraints have been broken because they were attached to the armature or the core armature, right? So I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna rename this rig. Rename this rig to Russell underscore a rig. Then I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna paste it to this. Because when I look up stuff, I want to make sure that it's already named in it, that it's clear. Put it in there. I'm gonna turn his helmet back on. Click his helmet. Go to the constraints. I'm gonna turn this off. We're gonna go to the rig, and we're gonna say head, and it's got to be C underscore X, and boom, it's done. Same thing here. We got constraints. We already know those constraints are incorrect. So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna grab this, and I'm gonna go to arm. We know that this is underscore FK. So I'm gonna go to FK arm. Boom, it sets itself. I'm gonna reset the offset, and then I'll do the same thing here. Click. I'm gonna go arm right FK and set inverse. All right, so everything's set up. So now when I come into the rig, I already know we're working. We are in proper standing. See, everything's rolling. All right, so now the next thing, when you saw those things, saw it looking all funny, we're gonna go in and put in a corrective. I'm gonna do the same thing for the thighs here. I'm gonna turn the rig off so we can click everything comfortably. A corrective, smooth corrective. I'm gonna do the same thing for each piece. And I'll even do one for the shoes. All right, I'll do one for the arms. Don't really have to, but I will. And one for the back. All right. So the reason for that is because when I go to move certain things, I already know those things may break. So let's say I take this and grab this and bend him. See how it starts to flex? You see the creasing in it. So that's telling me that, yeah, so I'll just take this back with it. Telling me that the geometry and the stuff that's set up for it don't like each other. I mean, I could go in here and go to 7 and then come up to weights. I'm sorry, weights, and go let's say spine 1. Right. So let's go spine 1. Click, and we see where spine 1 is and what it does. I come up here and I can go to weights and hit smooth, and it'll smooth it out. Or I can come over here to blur and then just blur it and just give it a good pass over. But it's still gonna look the same pretty much. And that's not me saying be okay with that. I'm just telling you that's why I put the corrective on it so that things, when they start to look like they're breaking, don't look that bad. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Russell clothing and I'm gonna drop it into his main file. All right, so this is set. Now I want him in a specific pose. So I'm gonna come up here, create a new collection. I'm gonna delete the other guy because I don't need him. And I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna clean up recursive data. And we're done. Let's check our time. We're at 1 hour 4 minutes. All right, I'm gonna call this anims. I'm gonna open this up, go to ARP, go to remap, click his rig, boom, and then I'm going to go to some imported motion capture files. I think I have one, or I may pose some stuff myself because some of these I don't like. And I really wanted one that was more for a pistol. I think I have it in another one. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Goodness, yeah, they don't want to work. Thank you. All right, turn this off. Hit home key, in key. All right. So I already know this is the idle. It's already idling. I don't think I want that, but again, I'm not animating him, so I'm going to change the pose a little. Um, Matter of fact, I don't want this one. We're going to get rid of this one. We're not going to do this one. I know which one to do. So, got a better idea. Come up here. So what I'm thinking about doing is grabbing this. I know I just closed my other thing. I'm going to go to my pose library, and I'm going to see if I have a pose I like. Let's just go to pose library. No, I'm going to go to the samurai. I'm going to see if these poses will work. They may not. And grab these stuff and Control I. Come out of there. Save. Oh, that's unique. It don't want to work. Okay. It doesn't have the same bone structure. Cool. All right, so let's come up here. Do I have to be in pose mode? Oh, I do have to be in pose mode. I am so tripping. Why am I tripping? All right. So this puts his arms in a weird position. Let me see. Yeah, I did not expect that. But I do want him in the air. But I didn't realize it was going to be like that. So I'm going to fix his arms. Let's go ahead and cut that. All right. I'm going to fix his arms. I'm going to click the rotation on that. Changes it. Oh, I see what it was. Okay, never mind. I probably can use that. Let's try it now. I'm going to come down here with it. Asset library. Library. Poses. The back pose. There we go. Nope. Still the same thing. Never mind. Doesn't work. All right. So I'll fix that by doing this. So let's close this. I'll close that. Click these. I'm going to reset his arms. All right. Right. And then I'll reset his hands. All right. So what I want to do is just come over here. I'm going to just, I forgot that was on. Let's turn it off. I'm going to have him floating a little. Yep. All right. Yeah, he's jumping away from, or jumping toward, whatever it is, he's jumping. All right. So, all right. Let's see. Turn him ever so slightly. And this is going to be the primary pose I want him to have in the shot. But I also know that I need to there we go. Yeah, you see how I just ended up not using the other thing? I'm just like, you know what? I have a pose. I'll use that. I do need to turn this neck a little bit more though. All right, there we go. Okay. Shoulder. Ugh, that is bad. But watch this. Boom. All right. Now what's funny is if I want that to work a little better, I can always move the constraint on. You feel what I'm saying? I can always move the constraint. So let's say we do this, and I just want to rotate it so much. And I know there's something to keep up with, but at least you do have a means to do it. All right, so kick it here, rotate. And then we're gonna go to the hand. So the beautiful part about this is, again, I can just go to my pose library, but I think I'm gonna just add it down here so I don't have to go too far. Yeah, I'll just go pose library, which is over. I'm gonna go to poses, hand, and that's the right hand. So we're gonna give the right hand a fist. I'll turn this stuff off right here. All right, so he's gonna be holding a weapon, which I don't have yet. I mean, I have one, but I probably have to figure out which one I want him to use. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab these R, right? Matter of fact, no, undo that, undo that. Let me do it like this instead. I'm gonna go to pose 1, and we're gonna just slowly do that. Beautiful part about having multiple poses. I think this one should work a little bit too. Yeah, there we go. All right, and then on this one, this is the one that on the thumb, I mean the pointer, the index, we'll pull that out a little bit. All right, I think I get this one a little bit more distinct of a bend. Don't forget to save. There we go. That's bad. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, so here we go. This arm may be a little bit. And then I think I'll give this is left to go pose 3 or pose 4. Yeah, there we go. I think I'll push that back a little bit more. Ooh, that's too much. Because if I push that back, I need to push this first one back too. You're a little extreme on the pose, because like I mean, I don't really need to go too extreme, but just see what happens. Right? I think this thumb go back a little bit more too. All right. Looking good to me. Let's see what we got in shader view, and go from there. Turn the overlay off. Yeah, he's defending the base. Defend the base with your all, boy. All right, and then for the sake of it, I'll turn it off. All right, cool. So, or close it. I mean, all right. So this is the pose. I don't want this pose to go away, so therefore I'm going to just leave it in this scene. So when I start the other scene, I'm going to bring him in, or the design, I'll bring him in. But he'll still be in this pose because I'm going to do everything around him. Because I don't think he's going to be touching the ground, so I'm just going to do everything to scale. All right, where are we at? Let's run it back. I'm going to go to the second track. All right, so where are we at on time? 112. Let's get back to it. All right, cool. So I know I have the creature. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to open up the creature. I'm just going to just say creature. I don't know. It's an FBX file. It's somewhere in here. Let's go find it. All right. I know where it's at. All right. So random internet challenges, because I put it in here. And boom. I'm going to give him a folder. And we'll just go creature. And I got this file from Mixamo, because I was like, I just need a file. I just need a creature, and it doesn't really make a difference if that creature is made specifically or whatnot from anything that I've done myself. I just need it to just work, and I just want them to be in some sort of weird thing. All right, so I'm just gonna say CR underscore. And copy it and then paste it here. All right, so CR for creature. All right, so now we're gonna save. I'm gonna go back to that same folder. Never mind. Go to that folder. I'm just gonna say creature and done. It's got that on there. You can delete that. Clear. All right, turn it on. And I know I probably had to fix this. No, I don't. You didn't make it come in all weird. All right, so I'm going to go into shading. I'm going to work on this because sometimes this isn't exactly what I want it to be. I'm going to give it a once over. Give me a second. All right. So what I want to do is make him look wet. So we're gonna push this a little further. Oh, that's on the top part, but anyway, you pull this in some and then crank it over here. There we go. And then on the same thing, copy. paste. Copy, paste. Right. All right. So I want them to be a little shiny, and then yeah. So that came out all right. I may want them to be a little darker, so I'm gonna do what I usually do, and that's bring in that mix shader color, multiply, crank it up, put it on there, and then bring the value down. Oh, I can't talk. All right, and then do the same here. Boom, done. All right. So now we just took a creature that usually wouldn't look like it looks, and make it look a little bit more gritty. All right. So I think here, because of how it's shining, I want to pull it. Not that one. This one. I want to pull this a little bit more. Ooh, wait a minute. We might have something here. Yeah, that's what I want. I want that on this side. Yeah. Okay. So, the hell? What is this? All right. So now, maybe good there. Yeah, because I just want it to be in a specific pose. So I think I'm just gonna give it a. I'm gonna go to ARP, go to um, remap, and I'm just gonna go to a creature pose. Let's say NPC creature. I would like something crawling on the ground, but I think this will probably work. Uh-oh. So I'll do that one. They both have the same thing, so I really don't have to retarget it. I mean, do it like that. I can just do this and done. All right. So if I turn the rig back on, home to. So it's like, all right. So I want to rearrange this pose because again, his pose is going to be specific, and I want him to be looking up rather than down. So yeah, click his neck. Individual origins. Let me turn this to stick because it's hard to see what it looked like. Alrighty then. All right, I think I'll do what I want to do. I don't think these are gonna symmetrize, but get another try, right? Copy. Copy. And let's say paste flipped. And why did it do it over there? Yep. Never mind. All right. So I do not know why these things don't symmetrize, but they don't. It's weird. Hold on. I got a better idea. There we go. Because he gets shot, so I like that. All right. So now on to the next piece, which is now the terrain. So we're gonna go moon base. Let's go base. And then what I'm thinking is, because I want to create a, I'm just gonna go sit and just say moon base. All right. And then what I'm thinking is bringing in the objects that I have set for that. So I want to say they're in assets, library. Oh. In here? Yeah, there we go. All right, 76. All right, you bring that in. 76 megabytes. Let's go. I need to restart my phone. All right, this is part of the maneuver kit. And I'm thinking I'm gonna bring this over here. All right, cool. There we go. So that the whole Minerva kit, I thought was pretty cool. And I'm thinking that I want the creature to be trying to come get him. And I'm just trying to think about where they would be at. And I'm thinking maybe up here, like he's like right at the edge of this thing here, and he's jumping away from the creature, or like right here jumping away from the creature because it's coming off the thing and he's shooting at it, or he's going backwards right here. Oh, not so, and the creature's like right here. And I'll just close this because now I want to go moon terrain, and now I'm gonna bring in landscape mesh, and I'm gonna go large terrain. And then on the large terrain, because it tends to be, it shows you like the size of the mesh. I'm just gonna make that like 120, right? But I'm going to use this multiple times. All right, so it's not gonna just be this one time, and it only has. Let me give it like a say 136. Oh, that's 130. All right, and I'll expand it just a little bit, and then I'll scale it. Okay, so I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to give this an array, but I'm going to move it also. I'm going to move it and I'm going to hold this down so it'll go in those places, spaces, array, and I guess I didn't go the right way. Let me hit 1. Yep, I didn't go the correct way. So let me do it like this instead. All right, there we go. And then I think I'll go this way because I know I want, hold on. All right. So I know I want also a Y, so I'm gonna go over to the array and we're gonna switch this to Y, right? So I clearly see that the seams are too far. I'm gonna bring them in some. All right. It's cool if they cross over a little bit because we're just gonna see the terrain from up here, so it's not like we're gonna be like dead on it. But I do want to increase the length of it. It's crazy because now I feel like I'm gonna have to slide it over some. Let's go 3. So it went the other way? Yes, it went the other way. All right. So let's see. Let's bring it over his way so it's in the center somewhere. Say, let's do this. All right. So this would be our main ground. All right. So I'm gonna rename this to main terrain. All right, and then around that terrain, we're gonna have small, like hills or whatnot. So I'm gonna come over here. I'm just gonna go with, let's just say a mesa. So in this case, let's get down there because I want to see it. Yeah, we're gonna use that, but I'm gonna give it a different. So let's say 136 this time. All right, cool. And then I'm going to not use that. I'm going to make it bigger by of his own volition. 120, which apparently spread it out. You see the dimensions. Okay, I'll make it 2. That's fine. All right, and then I'll just scale it myself. All right. So these things are just a little bit bigger. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and scale it. So let's just say Mesa Hills. All right, and just kind of scatter them about. So I'm gonna push it just under. All right. All right. I'm gonna Alt D because I don't want to deal with having multiple ones. All right, and watch this. Hold on. On the Z, boom. Click this one again. Hit 7. Alt D. Uh-oh. What did I just do? Take that back where it was. I done messed up something on the thing. All right. It's down a little further. Oh, flatten it out some more. All right, cool. Go back above. I'm gonna do this one more time. And this one, just make it a little bit bigger and slide it back and bring it down some. And 180 degrees. All right, cool. All right, so now we have our moon base, and yeah. So I'm gonna come over here, and I feel like this isn't tall enough over there, so I'll take it over some, and I'm gonna crank this up a little bit. I'm gonna spread it out. So there you go. Cool. And this is too open. I'll duplicate. There we go. Yeah, I'm cool with that because this is gonna be dark, so it don't make a difference. All right. So now when I come into render mode, I don't know if all the stuff is gonna come in for each one of these things, but I do know I have to get the files. So I'll see if I can use the missing file. Set up. Think. All right, cool. Yeah. It's working. Man, I need more copy. All right, so there we go. All right, cool. I just need to get the terrain set up. I mean, not the terrain, the characters set up. So I'm going to bring in the characters. I'm going to create a collection called Char Models. All right, and then I'm going to bring in, I'll bring in the Russell. And remember, I still have to give him his weapon. So we're going to click Russell. All his stuff is going to come in because it's all in the same folder. Waiting on him to load up. All right. Now I'm going to click him. I'm going to click the rig because I know that the other thing has showed up. I don't need it. I'm going to delete it. All right. For the sake of it, I'll click up there, bring him up there, take him up there, and then I can turn him around. So I'm going to get him where I need him to be. I think I should be able to do that. Yes, sir. All right, hold on. All right, there we go. Uh-oh. It's like, why was that hard? All right. Okay. And so I'm going to grab this, turn this around 180 degrees. I tend not to do it on the rig itself because sometimes it'll it'll jack the rig up. All right, or give me weird like things. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, just push him forward. All right, cool. So again, I don't really know which direction I would take this shot in, but I know I'm going to expand the distance on this to 10,000 and this to 0.1. All right, there we go. And ta-da! So yeah, he'll be shooting the guy from this direction, and I'll probably put like little lights around this to make sure that we can see. But he'll be shooting the thing and go from there. And I don't know which direction I wanted to go from, but we're just gonna say this is the thing. All right, so I'm going to use his rig as the location point for the other character. So just bring him in. Creature, where you at? All right. Oh, creature. All right, cool. All right. So again, wait on him. Oh, did I append it? No, I didn't. All right. Now, waiting on the stuff. Boom. And in this case, right, being shot. Sort of feel like it needs to turn around, huh? Like the terrain should flip a little. I think I'll do that. So I'll grab the terrain, and I'm 180 degrees to terrain. I'm gonna slide it over to. I just feel like it needs to turn around, so I can do this instead. I feel like this would be the better shot, even though I feel like this is still. I still feel like it's wrong. I don't know. Let's flip the terrain back. All right. Yeah, that shot could be okay. See what I get if I go ahead and get my camera set. We'll do it at 1080. That's fine. Lock the camera. Say 40. Turn the rigs off so I can see. I don't know. I just know I'm gonna go ahead and shade the terrain. So just say mountains, and come in here, open, wait for it to load for some reason, and I'm gonna go a rock. I think. Say rock 8. Not mad at that. I can deal with that. Go. All right, so come above here. I'm going to do project bounds. Don't know why that's not on UV. Scale 6. All right. Yeah, that's crazy. But nonetheless, we crank it over here. We're going to change. Oh, well, the bump's already there. Huh. Let me change this bump to 0.03. Should I take it back up to 1? Oop, 0.3. 0.1. Yeah, 0.1 will work. Delete that. Okay. I'll leave it like that. I will go ahead and make sure I get the AO set up because it's not. Crank it. Boom. I'm going to give it a second life by doubling up and then cranking it down some. Because when I bring the light in, it's going to definitely change it. But I know that I'm going to give this the same terrain. So I'm just going to go mountain. Go above. Select it because I don't know where it's at. Alright, there we go. I'm going to go to bounds. 6. Boom. And all of it's the same terrain. Because of me, of course, right? Yeah. Come in here. There we go. Yep. So see it from here. I didn't change it, so let me change it. All right, cool. So now if I go lighting, do this. I don't know where the lights would come from, but I guess I would. I guess I would just have to bring in a sun and use that since it is supposed to be the moon. So let's bring in a sunlight. All right. Take it up to 90. Crank all this stuff up because it's not on. Let me get some shadows on because I know they're not on. Uh, and we're gonna do like 120. Hold on, let me see what it look like if I do it from this angle. All right, and then give it almost a yellowish feel. So I'll pull this down some. There we go. All right, the bloom's too bright. Bring the bloom down, 0.5. There we go. Oh, that's unique. The fact that that actually worked out. That actually worked out. But I do need, pull down here. I do need a, because I mean, that's bright. I mean, I am going to go black in here, but I think I'm going to do it from the shading tab. Come out of here. I'm going to go to world. And then I'll just go black. Like 0.01. Alright. Because we see clearly that now we just get the light from that. I think I still need to change this though, because it's still not yellow enough for me. Alright, there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to mix some stuff. We're going to do some mixing. Alright. In that mixing, it's going to deal with an emission, which is going to be cranked to like 1,000. I'm going to give it a bluish tone. Just say that way some. Alright. Control. Color ramp. Noise. Alright. Noise. I'll go ahead and give you one of those just on GP. Factorial. I'm gonna do 126. Crank it up. Boom. Boom. You go, what? I'll be like, yeah, that's what happened. You go, what? That's what happened. That's what happened. Alright, so now when I come over here and I go back into the camera, let's look at a shot of it, see what happens. Not too bad. I still feel like the bloom's too high. Something will go fix that. It's just too high. 0.2, F12. I'm gonna add some volume, so yep. I think there's still too many pieces in these particles here, so I'm gonna pull that back some. F12. Oh, the particles just, oh, it's the bokeh. Hold on. Down here, use a little camera jitter. I'm gonna do some sprite separation at that level. Then a little bit more, say 30. I'm gonna over blur it. Film, overscan, F12. almost. It just seemed like we're missing some pieces here, but I'm gonna get with it. Hold on, give me a second. Let me get the volume in here. That may change it. So let's see, fog. Come over here. Bounds. Object. Fog. Don't forget to save. Remove. No shadow. 0.1. Where we at? Alright, and then hold on. There we go. It's just crazy how bright that is. Never mind, I'm just playing. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Alrighty then, push it towards the sun. And I can also adjust this too. Get just a little bit. And I also think it needs to break up some, so I'll go back into object. Oh, I need to click object, don't I? Alright. So since we need to break it up some, I'll do what I've been doing. It'd be basically the same setup. The only difference is now this time, instead of adding that's not the right one. Instead of adding anything extra, I just use the darkness for itself. That's the wrong one. And then go from there. So crank it up a little bit, break it up. I'll say 60 on the breakup. See what like in camera. Not too bad, but let me go back to the sun. Yeah, I don't like it. Fog. Yeah, I don't like it. There we go. Some brightness in there, but at the same time still chop it up. I'm gonna go 30. Set to 6. Crank this so it looks more like dusty. All right. See the end result. Let's see what we get. See what we get, man. Not too bad. Not too bad. I do feel like the brightness of the over here is too much, so I'm gonna probably on the fog pull this more towards the front instead of all the way over here or completely over there. Maybe that might work. Hold on. Yeah, I still feel like the stars are too big though, so I'm gonna go back to the world and I'm going to let's make this 320. I went to the wrong thing. I could have did it right here. I don't know why I moved. All right, F12. Man, it's just a lot of them, and it's just I still don't like it. I feel like it's too many of them. Oh Lord, I went the wrong way. Keep doing that. Gotta stop. All right. See what I get. I also feel like I need to get that blur. It's just a lot of them. Ugh. If I go 30. Just see what I get with that. Like I know there should be a lot of stars, but it should still break up a little bit. Yeah, see that's not enough. Say 240. If I do that instead, dim them out a little bit so they're not as bright. There we go. I can deal with that. All right. So what I'm thinking is on this camera, right? I feel like the camera is let's go 1.4. Get the depth a little tighter. My hands are chilly. I don't know what it look like in cycles. Probably look like trash, but I'm gonna check anyway. I'll probably check off film and then you guys can check it out. I'll put what I did in the community tab on those renders because I don't want it to be offset. I think it's weird how the stairs don't touch the ground right there. I didn't do that. That's just the way it was set up. Is like the stairs are not touching the ground. I guess you could just step from there to the ground. But I do need to add his weapon. So let me see. What weapon do I have? I know I have some. I just have to go to them. Assets. Weapons. Would it be this one? Should be something that's already ready though. Yeah, let me see. I'll try this one out real quick. Let me go to him. And then again, I'll move. Let's do it like that. Alright. And then let's go weapons. Because again, this is just for the sake of a render. Append. Right? Handgun. Don't know if it's going to be right or not, but about to find out. Yeah, it'll be alright. Alright, cool. Don't know if it's big enough, but nearly dead on, huh? Ooh, it's not in center at all. Ooh, did that. Alright. I mean, like, literally almost dead, just dead on. Matter of fact, it is. I just need to adjust the fingers ever so slightly, but other than that, for the most part, it's ready. A slight finger adjustment, and we good. He's good. Alright, and then I also want to add like a semi-light effect to it. But he's squeezing that trigger. Let me do this because I wanted to move a little faster. Even with my PC, I still need to do that. So, and I know the PC I have now is better than the last one, but still, have to be smart, man. All right, there we go. And then I know that the fingers aren't as tight. 1, 2, 3. Let's just do this. Still feels like he isn't holding the weapon, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a constraint because I don't want it to move, if that makes sense. So yeah, I typed in the wrong thing. And right. See it from the shot. Yeah, I feel like I might be able to turn it a little bit. Slide it down a little. Yep, it works. Alright. And then in there, I guess I'll just create the thing I want to create. Uh-oh, what you doing? Alright. See, it still feels like it's too high up. I guess I'll bring him up some then. That probably work, huh? There we go. Alright. So what I'm gonna do, which is probably a little unusual, I'm gonna create a path. And I'll bring it up here because apparently they want to come up here. And I'm gonna move it over here. So let me see which direction it's going in. Can I see? Oh, never mind. Alright. I'll turn it. Did I do that correctly? I did not. Like, I did not undo that. Let's go 90. Go up. All right. Let me see. Let me see. So I want to have this go through him from the gun. It's almost like this needs to come over. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna, oh, never mind. Turn it off. Geometry 0.003, 0.06. All right, cool. I think on this tip part here, I'll stretch it out a little bit more. It's coming out the other side. Go back into texture, excuse me, texture mode, and yeah. Yeah. 6 red 120. Ain't not that bad. See it on the render though. See it in the render though. Thinking maybe this tip could go past this. See what that does. Can't do anything but check, right? Yeah. Now I feel like there needs to be something here. But that part in the back here is still peeking. So for me, it's still peeking through the weapon. And I don't like it. Let me put it over some. Still peeking. There we go. Excuse me. But yeah. So we're getting that cranked up. And I think that's it right there. So there you go, guys. It's been over an hour, almost 2, if not 2. Yeah, almost 2. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, got something out of it. Again, it's nothing wrong with getting access from other places to accomplish the thing you want to accomplish. So hope that helps somebody. With that being said, man, see you guys later. Nothing but love.